this thing on? Okay, it is. Hello, my name's Samantha, and if you're watching this, you probably searched for how to give yourself a proper injection for HRT, hormone therapy, and probably because your endocrinologist or your doctor, physician, didn't properly show you how to do it. In which case, mine did, and I've been doing it for about 6 years. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. First, what you need, obviously this depends whether you're going MTF or FTM, testosterone versus estrogen. For me, I'm injecting with 5 milligram per milliliter depo-estradiol. That's the vial. The syringe that I use, and I hope this is not swapped for you, but it is for me. Hope you can read that. Is Vantage Point syringes. You may not be able to find them, but they're 22 gauge. I recommend 22 gauge because testosterone and estrogen is a thicker substance. So you're going to want something that's not too thick of a needle, but at the same time, you can still draw back the fluid. So I recommend a 22 gauge needle and 1 inch. 1 inch would do. So 22G x 1. If you can ask your doctor for a prescription to those, I'm sure they would be obliged to do so. One thing you can get that I do use is SafeTech, Sting-Relief. It works as, you can find these on Amazon in bulk, actually. And I just use one. It provides sting relief and antiseptic properties to the area. So I'm going to go ahead and draw back my 1 milliliter. For me, I inject 1 milliliter. So this is the basic part, right? And you're probably like, I already know all of this. Well, then you can skip to the part in the video where I'm injecting. This is dripping in. Yeah, I've helped a couple of male to female people with just general advice on injecting, but it's hard for me to explain, say over voice chat, exactly how to inject properly. Let's see, is that about a milliliter, a little bit more? And you're going to get little bubbles that form, in which case, that's just because of pressure. You can kind of give it a little tap. Let those float to the surface for a second. I usually pull back a little more than a milliliter because I know there's going to be bubbles. And then at the very tip point here, there's a little bubble. I just push back into the vial and get that air bubble out of there. So that is exactly 1 milliliter. And immediately put the cap back on the syringe. Now, place that aside on the paper towel. And I'm going to sit down at an angle here such that you can kind of see. This is the point of the video. Got this. First thing you want to do is locate the back part of your thigh. This would be the middle, exactly middle back part of my thigh. You want kind of the ventral, the sides, dorsolateral sides. That's where, because it's an intramuscular injection, that's the point of this. You want it to go straight to the bloodstream. So what the endo should tell you, what mine told me, is to first have a good source of light, just so you make sure that you don't puncture an artery. If you do, it's no big deal. Arteries, they'll seal up quick. But you can look around. They'll usually be on this inner sides. But make sure you that big blue one, you don't want to hit that. It's okay if you hit a vein. You're most likely going to hit a vein. That's what my doctor told me. And that's okay. Next thing you do is find the exact spot. So what I do, and this is what he told me, and this is the point of the video. You take one hand. This is my left hand. I'll be injecting with my right. Okay? I take my left hand over the back of my thigh with my thumb on the inner part here, and I kind of make a point as best as I can. And I'll tap with one finger. I'll give a little test to find a place that it's most tender. Why do I do that? That's good. About here, half past the freckle. Why do I do that? I do that because that's the point that it's generally going to go in. The needle will go in quicker because it's a 22 gauge. So I've got this part like marked. And what I'm going to do is take the Sting-Relief pad and antiseptic pad. Again, here it is. And I'm going to go over the back of it. Let's see. And just go over, and there's a lot on these, a lot of alcohol. But you kind of want to rub it in, almost till it's a little bit red. That way you're getting it at all angles. After all, Sting-Relief is supposed to, work as Sting-Relief. I think this has lidocaine in it. Yeah, lidocaine is much better than benzocaine. But now that I've found that spot, and I've used this, I generally give a blow, like with just a little bit of air. That's the numbing test. If I don't feel any cold air being blown onto the area, I know the surface is good and numbed up. Get the back side, and then I get my fingers so that those are antiseptic and cleaned as well. Rub that off. And now I release the cap on the syringe, as such, and I find, kind of like Game of Thrones, stick it with the pointy end. Find the V-shaped pointy end, and it'll go in easier. Again, grabbing like this with the thumb on the inside, finding that tender spot right there, still numb. Take a deep breath, and just go in. Now, I'm giving it a steady, sturdy push with my thumb. I'm holding my left hand exactly in place while I'm injecting. And I'm going to hold it at the very end for 10 seconds. Why do I do this? I do this because I want to make sure that the estrogen, in your case it might be testosterone, is fully dispersed within the muscle. You want to give it time because pressure will build up as a result. And I'm going to hold it right at the end here. It's all in. 10, 9, 8 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 5, 4, 3, 2, and boom. Hold it. Place my finger over the top. And then kind of like at the vet, what they'll do is they'll shake it. You want to shake it. So I'm pressing down firmly with one finger. And I'm shaking it up to make sure that it's evenly dispersed. I learned this trick from a veterinarian who had to give chemo to her cat. Unfortunately, it had cancer, and there was a lot of fluid, and to make sure that it was dispersed and it didn't come back up due to pressure, she held the hole, and she said that veterinarians will generally do this. Doctors, too, if they have to inject intramuscular. So that's it. Make sure you place the cap back on your syringe. These syringes, actually, the needle comes back up. And I'll hold this for about 60 seconds just to make sure that nothing, I don't lose anything. Microliter, none of it. I don't want to lose it. So I'm still holding. And at this point, the blood clotting should be good. There should be little to no blood. I'm about to release slowly. And I'll give a zoom in here. You can see that's the point where I injected. Not much came back out. In fact, really almost none at all. And it is sealed up pretty well. So I hope this was helpful to anybody out there who else is transgendered and on hormone therapy. Perhaps you're not even transgendered or on or any of that, and you just need to inject, in which case I hope this helped. So take care.